Hey guys, welcome back to another little mini vlog. I didn't even, well, it's not really a mini, it's not really a vlog. It's more so a reaction and an opinion. We're gonna talk about, what's happening with Israel and Iran and all of that. Um, I do want to put out a notification that I'm on live. I didn't even put out a notification that I'm going live. I'm literally sitting here watching the news, among other things, because it is Sunday, so I like to, watch my little faith-based content and all of that. And just everything that I'm watching just kind of drove me to go ahead and just make this video. Um, so first of all, before we start, shout out to my Purple Heart member gangs. You guys will see this after I re-upload it on YouTube. So shout out to you guys from now for all of your support. You guys are always, always, always coming through for me, and I really, really do appreciate you guys. Love you guys so much. So shout out to you guys. Happy Sunday to everyone. Hope you guys are doing well, no matter where you are. And yeah, so we're gonna talk about all of this stuff that's going on. So if you're not a faith-based person, this could all be really, really confusing and scary and all of that. If you're a faith-based person, this will be confirmation of everything that you've been taught from you were in Sunday school, that we are currently living in the end of times. Okay, this is not like, I'm not trying to be melodramatic. I'm not trying to, use all these hyperboles and try to be, do the most. I'm just being honest, my honest opinion, based on everything that I'm seeing, based on everything that I've read, based on everything that I've been taught in my faith. We can clearly see that we are now living in the end of days. So I just made a post on Facebook, and the post was, this is not political, this is all biblical. And if you are a person of faith, then you understand that this statement is correct. So first of all, let's just do a little bit of history lesson here. Let's do a little bit of history lesson, because a lot of people don't really understand how far back and how deep this stuff goes. Literally right back to the Bible, right? This is why I say this is biblical. First of all, the Jews, the Arabs, the Palestinians, all of these people, they're all coming from one family tree. Let's just get that out the way, okay? They're all descending from one man, Abraham, okay? So, it goes real deep. This is way more than political and policies and strategies and all this other stuff. This is literally biblical. So for a lot of people, they don't know that Iran was, back in the ancient times, kingdom of Persia. So if you read the Bible, you understand who the Persians are and what their role was and how God used them as an instrument to bring about his will. So, a lot of people, especially Christian people, like, sometimes you can become almost like a religious snob to the point where, you lose the ability to understand that God transcends all, everything, race, ethnicity, politics, religion, all of that. If you understand the story of King Cyrus, the king of the Persians, and how God used him to bring about his will and to help his people, then you'll understand that God can use anybody at any time to do anything. And this was These people were not Christians. These people were not, they didn't believe in God and Jesus and none of that. And God still chose the king of the Persians to bring about his will. So that's just a little bit of history lesson going back, way back. So Iran has been around for a very long time, right? And so we understand why it's so alarming to see all of this destruction happening. But we also understand, if you understand the Bible, the roles that the Jews played and that they will play, and you understand the roles that Christianity will play. So if you're confused, go read Revelations. It's literally all there, right? And I'm looking at people's response to America not kind of, immediately jumping into the fray and, immediately doing this and immediate like they would have normally done under normal circumstances. And again, because this is biblical and not political, of course they're not jumping immediately into the fray to drop bombs on Iran because these are Christians. And so if they're Christians, they understand that this is probably not the best path, right? Now, we're hearing talks about wanting to take out the supreme leader. And I just want to put this into context. And again, this is just me freeballing it. Like, this is just me speaking as a person of faith, as a person who does their research and understands what is happening in the world today. I understand that this is nothing to do with politics, and this is everything to do with the book of Revelation. Let me just put that out there. So, however you feel about that is how you feel about that. I'm speaking from that space. Right. That's the space I'm coming from. So, you have to understand, like, what it is that you're seeing so that you're not confused. A lot of people are confused. They don't understand what's going on. They think this is about, regime change and all of this other stuff. No, this is about deep rooted, seated hatred that goes back all the way to the Bible. And I don't want to be, I have my own opinions about certain things that I'm not really going to get into here. But I just know that as a Christian, I believe in Jesus. I believe that he is the Son of God. I believe in Jesus Christ. And I believe in the part of the Bible that tells you, no one shall come to him but through me. So if you don't believe in Jesus, and you don't believe in Christ, and you don't believe that he is the Son of God, then, we're going to differ in opinions on this stuff. But back to the stuff that's coming out in the media about, the supreme leader not being off the table, that, they'll be willing to take him out as well. I would just say that to do something like that, I don't think I'd be exaggerating when I would say it would literally be like Armageddon. You know what I mean? It would literally be like taking a big can of gasoline the size of the world and pouring it on a fire. Because to certain groups of people in the world, that's like the equivalent of the Pope. No? Tell me if I'm wrong. So if you were to go to Vatican City and take out the Pope, how would all the Christians worldwide feel about that? Sometimes we just have to just use our brains just a little bit. You know what I mean? So I definitely would not want to see that happen. Not in my lifetime. Maybe when I'm not here, my children are not here, their children are not here. Go for it. But I wouldn't want to see that happen. I definitely wouldn't want to see that happen. And I think the Americans wouldn't want to see that happen either. That is why Trump is saying no to that particular part of the plan. Like, just don't do that. Like, if you do that, we definitely can't help you. Like, there's nothing that the United States would be able to do to help in that situation if you were to take out the supreme leader. in Iran. So, like, when I say this stuff is biblical, you guys just do your research. I'm not here to, show you the parallels and draw you the history lines I'm just gonna say very key words like Kingdom of Persia, modern day Iran, the Jews in the Bible, the Christians, and where we are today. You know what I mean? Just do your research and do not get sucked in to the political stuff. Leave that stuff alone. This is one particular thing that I'm kind of sitting back here, clutching my Bible, saying my prayers over myself, my children, my family, all my loved ones, and I'm praying for the world at a large. Right? I'm not getting into it politically. I don't care about the politics and the policies because this ain't nothing political. This is all biblical. I'm gonna keep saying that, and I'm gonna stand on that. And if you're a Christian and you've read the book of Revelations, then you'll probably agree too. I just wanted to kind of make my little video, get this off my chest. It's a sad time that we're living in, but it's a prophetic time. It's a time that we knew was coming. And if you didn't know, now you know. You know what I mean? This is a time where we get your spiritual house in order. You make up your mind what you're doing spiritually and you get on with it, because it's unfortunate, isn't it? But we had to get here. We had to get here. It has been prophesied on, not unfortunately. I'm not going to say unfortunately. It has been prophesied, and there's nothing that we can now do to stop it. We have, and I say we meaning humanity. When I say we, I mean humanity. Too many children. Too many children have died. I'm not here to talk about politics. I don't care about that stuff. I just care about humanity as a whole. Too many children have died. All this innocent blood being spilled. Come on now. Come on. If you read the Bible, you should know there is no way that humanity will be allowed to get away with all of this barbarism. Come on now. Come on now. Like, the oldest book in the world has already foretold all of this stuff. And if you believe and you read this stuff and you believe what you're reading, then you know. Too many children, too much innocent life. Children are a gift from God. And too many. It's too much. We have reached the point of no return. There is nothing that can be done to undo what has been set in motion. And a lot of people don't understand, why Trump is in power. How could he be in power? Why would they let him in a second time? All of this stuff. Come on now. Come on now. Right? We knew this was coming. And it's only going to get worse. I don't have any type of, positivity to spin on this, not this particular time, because it's just been, my rose petals have fallen off of my glasses. And, my faith tells me that there is no amount of placating that will change what is to come. You know what I mean? We have, as a whole, as humanity, as a whole, we have reached a point of no return. We have done too much. You understand what I'm saying? Wars and things of that nature has been around as long as we've been around. Because, some of us have more of a bloodlust than others. But it is a part of our nature. That's, is just part of the baggage that we carry, right? And unfortunately, we have given into that insatiable lust. We've given into that side of things, and we've opened up that door, and we cannot close it back. So, no matter where you stand on the spectrum, we are all in the same basket. We're all in the same basket. It don't matter. It doesn't matter like what your belief system is and what this and this and all this stuff and this and that and the third. We've gone too far as a race, as a people, as humanity in general. This is like too much. You understand what I'm saying? It's a lot. It's just too much. The world is just never ever gonna be the same ever again, unfortunately. So for me personally, I choose not to be afraid because I'm a person of faith. So I understand that, we don't have a choice. This is where we're at. So I choose to, cling to my faith and get deeper and closer to my God and prepare myself, my children, my family, prepare ourselves for what we are witnessing and what, understanding it through the proper lenses and through the proper prisms. I try my best not to get sucked up into news and headlines. I try to stay and read the Bible because that's the best explanation for me. That's what calms me. That's what, make me be able to continue to function and not be so afraid and petrified that I don't even want to go outside. Because there are days, and I talk about this a lot, we can put it under the umbrella of mental health, that's fine. But I also understand that there's a spiritual warfare going on. So I'm well aware of what's happening, and that helps me with the mental side of things. It allows me to stay fast on my journey and to stay focused and to understand the world around me. And there are a lot of people who don't understand what's happening. They're kind of calling it the COVID fog. Like they just cannot comprehend this new reality. And the reality is, you know, we are living in the end of days. And this is just where we are. The wars, the genocides, the diseases, the plagues, all of the instability, all of the political upheaval, all of the things that are happening and are going to continue to happen is best explained by this explanation. That's all we have. So, anyways, guys, I'm not gonna drag it too long. I don't want to get super preachy, which I can get. I don't want to go there. I just, sometimes it's crying out inside of me to say something because it's like when you read a book and you understand and nobody else understands and everybody's confused and you hear it like it's verbalized, people are confused verbally, letting you know they're so confused they just don't understand what's going on. And you feel that you know what's going on. You know what's going on because you're not afraid, right? If you didn't have that faith to keep you anchored, you'd be terrified. You'd be more terrified than they are because you can actually really see what's happening. And like I said, I don't want to, get too much into it, but I'm a person of deep faith, and I'm never going to be a denier of Christ. Let's just be so clear about that. I'm always very vocal about that, and I'm always very clear about that because I am my testimony. And so nobody can ever tell me anything about God. You understand? Because I've known God since I was born. And I don't know if that's because I'm an orphan, maybe. I just have that, my spiritual connection runs deep and it's unshakable. And when you've known God and He's worked in your life ever since you've existed, it's very hard for the devil and for his minions and for his entities and his allies to really stifle you and to stifle that feeling that you have inside where you're just like, oh my God, this is it. This is it. This is it. This is it. Like you can feel it. And if you're a Christian and you're a person of faith and you believe, then you can feel it that this is it. There is no amount of begging that can be done on our behalf this time around. Like, this is it, right? We have reached a level where it's just all you can say is just wow. It's crazy, right? That's all you have for it. You don't have nothing else to give it. Like we've reached a point where it's just like you can't even call this human. You can't say that this is politics. You can't say that any of this is okay. Any of it. I don't care what side, which side, how you view it, when you view it, any of it, that this is okay, that so much life is being just snuffed out, without any regard. When we know that life is precious, that so many children, I don't even, to be honest, I don't really even care about the adults. I don't really care. That's for God to deal with. For me, as a mother and as a Christian and as a human being, it's the children, because children are innocent. I don't care about political ideology when it comes to children. And when the pictures and the videos and the visual is just too much to bear as a person of faith, that don't sit okay with me. And I don't care how the world takes that. Too many children are dying. Too much innocent life is being taken. So yeah, here we are. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you made it to the end, stay up and stay blessed. If you believe in Jesus Christ, pray. Pray for yourself, pray for the world, and pray for, yeah, just pray, because that's all we have is prayer. Pray and stay deep in your faith. If you're a non-believer, and whatever you choose to believe in, that is between you and what you choose to believe in. It's not my place to judge or to say what you should believe. What I will say, as a human being, you should want better. You should want better for the world, and you should want to live in a better world. Not just for the Middle East. We already knew that was coming. The world at large is a hot mess, right? It's a hot mess. And we could spend days talking about this stuff. It's disgusting, to the point where I don't even want to go outside. I don't want any type of human interaction. I just find humanity to be so disgusting at this point in time. I don't want no parts of it, right? I am clinging to, I am part of this world, but I am not part of this world. I don't want no parts of it. I just hope and pray that we can all do better as a species. Stay up and stay blessed. Deuces.